bear with me. I'm an old black man just come out after 26 years in the federal prison trying to figure this out. I'm leading the way. I'm what they call a forerunner. You know what I mean? Not the truck. You know what I mean? Remember that. Because I deal with gunshots all day. Remember that. Gunshots. All right. So we're going to have the little throwback Tuesday. And you see, I got the little picture on the screen. You know, so I'm going to tell you about that night right there. Y'all wanted some pictures, so I done upgrade the joint. Make sure you hit the like and know that I got a new podcast over there. The link is in the comments, and it's in the description and all that. Go on over there and download something, help me get monetized real quick. You know what I mean? And you already know the routine. But now, this joint here was one night I was chilling. I'm going to tell you about from the day. That day I was driving a white Mitsubishi Montero. I ain't have time to get out all the pictures, so I'm going to fine tune this and get this right for you. I was driving a white Mitsubishi Montero with a 4-inch lift kit with Mickey Thompson rims on it and some big-ass chrome rims on it, some Kragers. You know what I mean? Y'all might not know about Kragers. That's from back in the day before BBSs. They used to put them on the sports cars and all that. Because like I said, this is Throwback Thursday. So, you know, I got the white Montero, and I got a big-ass speaker box in the back, and I'm playing Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, EPMD. You know, this was during that time, nice and smooth. You know what I'm saying? Brand Nubian. You know, we rocking. Now, and let's not forget, you know, KRS-One. You know, because I had to represent for the Boogie Down Bronx. So these 3 girls here, I met these girls right here, really good girls. They was college girls. As you see, I'm old thug. You know what I mean? Just keeping it 100. I met these college girls over here on 125th Street right there at that very moment. They were standing up out there. They see me. I seen them, kept looking and all that. I had the big straw sombrero on. You know what I mean? I got to wear one of them one day so you see I look in my old, you know, old back in the day slave outfit. But I had the big sombrero on with the little strap underneath. And I'm driving a Montero down the street, got the music playing, Big Daddy Kane, R.A.W. I pull up in front of Apollo. That's why I'm in front of Apollo. Right where we at right now is right there where it say GameStop. Back in the day, that GameStop behind me, this GameStop right here behind me is where they used to take the pictures and have all the backgrounds up there. My man Big D, big shout out to Big D. Big D used to be out there with one of the homies taking pictures. So we out there and everybody out there taking pictures, the girls out there. So I just grab and say, man, come on, get in this picture. Because they're already looking at me. So I figure a picture lasts a little longer. And, you know, so I tell them, get in the picture. They get in the picture. We taking the pictures, we flossing. As you see, I picked a little cutie Nina down in the middle. She was from Chi-Town. You know what I mean? Good girl. She from Chi-Town. She played herself at the end. You know, but you know, I ain't going to disrespect her. But she played herself at the end. But she ain't really play herself. She might have thought that I was one of those, you know, but I love a dog niggas. You know what I mean? I really think she think I was one of those, but I love a dog. You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you how this played out. Now, the one on the right, the one with the red hat, she was real cool too. Forgot where she was from. The one on the right with the white shorts, she originally was from Harlem over there on Lenox. You know what I mean? She lived with her pops and all that. And these are college friends. They all went to college down in Miami. This how I got down to, not Miami, what is that, FMU. You know what I mean? They went to the college up there. Whichever one it is in Tallahassee, you know, trolls correct me in the comments. So I went over there to the joint, and they telling me where they from and all that. So I go by there to go see them. I'm hollering at the little shorty in the middle from Chi-Town. And it's like every night, no matter where we was at, she had to go back to the crib at 11 o'clock to talk to her mother, you know? So her mom makes sure she's safe. She in New York every night at 11 o'clock. So now this is going on. So we start dating, we hanging out. I'm taking it, one fish, two fish, you know, City Island, M&Gs. I mean, we all over the place, you know. We all, you know, over at the Q Club and the Queens. And, you know, I'm taking on 3 of them out and I'm showing them New York because the 2 girls, they came up to see New York for the summer with their college classmate, Shorty on the right. So now I go up there, I meet the pops and all that. We hanging out. And everything good. But then one night I was up there because normally she'll go up at 11 o'clock, said her mother gonna call. You gotta remember this before cell phones. You know what I mean? So when somebody say they getting a call at a certain time, you know, that means they going home to pick up that house phone. You know, this before that cell phone. So she used to go up there and one night, you know, she went up there and I'm downstairs waiting with her friends for her to talk to her mother, let her mother know she's safe so she come back to hang out. and I tell a girlfriend, yeah, I got to use the bathroom. You know me, I'm old street warrior, so, I'm not even going to front. I'm going to keep it 100. I went to pull out right there and take a piss on the curb. You know what I mean? That's like marking your territory back in the day, I'm drinking my 40, I'm jumping out to Montero, I got my jewels on, and, now the joint running through my bladder. So, we in New York, so no disrespect. Call me a dog, call me an animal, call me what you want, but just make sure you know my name is unique. Now, I went to go pull out, I went to pull the anaconda out to let it loose. So as soon as she saw me, undoing my joint, because you see I had a belt. Normally it'd be like shorts, be with the little drawstrings the way they do it now. But I was wearing like, linen shorts, and, that goes with you putting a, $1,500 belt with it. So now I go to pull the belt down. She said, oh, what you doing? I said, now I got to go to the bathroom. She said, no, come upstairs. So she take me upstairs, but I never met her father, never been upstairs at the time. So we go upstairs. Now this is 11 o'clock when she up there talking to her mother. So now I want to be quiet because I don't want her mother here do it in the background. Pay attention, keep up. So now I go up in the joint. When I roll up in the joint, I go to the bathroom and I hear in the back end she whispering. So, I go to tap on the door and let them know that I was finished because, they let me in the bathroom. So right when I went to go tap on the door, I didn't get to tap. So call me a creep. Call me a creep because it was a creep move. You know what I mean? It was a creep move. I went to go knock, but I heard her saying, I love you. I'm like, I love you? But it didn't sound like I love you, mommy love. So I'm like, of course, I didn't want to go to the kitchen and get the glass and put it to my ear on the door or nothing. So I just put my bare ear to the door. And I heard her saying, no, I'm not doing nothing. I'm getting ready to go to bed. You know what I mean? I said, okay, well, it could be mommy. It could be mommy. So then she said, okay, yeah, but, I love you. I said, okay, it could be mommy. But then she, out of nowhere, said, oh, I'm going to put it on you when I see you, nigga. I said, whoa, that ain't mommy. You know what I mean? Nigga. She ain't tell me she had a nigga. Not that I cared. You know what I mean? But, it makes things a hell of a lot easier, how I'm going to deal with her. So I don't have to play the fake game like we looking for a relationship. Plus, she only up there for the summer from Chicago, by way of FMU up in Tallahassee. So when she done, she come out, oh man, thanks, that look nice, that heart. I like the way that heart popped up. All right, so now, this is where we go, right? So she comes out the room and I grab her, give her a little hug, and kiss all on her neck and on the cheek, because she had beautiful caramel complexion, was soft like a baby. You know what I mean? So, I didn't, let me keep it 100. So you understand that, so you know why I wasn't but I love a dog ass nigga. Now, they ain't gonna believe this. I know y'all ain't gonna believe this in 2023, but I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. I wasn't into kissing. I'm running around, I'm dealing with females on the street, so I'm not kissing nothing. So I'm just kissing on the cheek, on the neck and all that. And she went up to kiss me on the mouth and I had to put my palm between us and say, whoa, what are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? She with me. I also seen her with my man from off my block. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, he hung out with the three of them too, so he was talking to one of them. You know what I mean? I think he was talking to the one that lived in New York, But I don't know if he don't introduce her to one of our other dog-ass creep friends that, might not be the cleanest. So I didn't kiss. So we didn't do all that. So now we go back downstairs and we ride, and I said, how your mom doing? She said, oh, she all right, So you know me, I kept it 100. I said, look, baby, we ain't even going to play this game. You know what I mean? Let's stop the games. You know what I mean? We're going to cut the crap, I said, I know you talked to the nigga. You told nigga you're going to put it on him. You know what I mean? I said, keep it 100. You got a man back there in Chi-Town. She said, nah, but we broke up. We trying to get back together because he mad because I'm in college. And he feel that, I should have stayed locally and da-da-da-da. But no, we not together, but, we still seeing each other. I said, oh, so you still giving him something? She said, yeah. I said, okay, well, ain't no problem with that because all I want is my little piece. I don't want much, just a little piece. Just something to enjoy tonight, you know what I mean? And while you're up here for the little summer. So me and her chilling and we riding. And I tell her straight up, I said, look, man, we ain't even going to play this game. You're allowed to have your boyfriend because I got other females that I'll be seeing. Just make sure when we go out and you see me with another female, you know how to act accordingly. You know what I mean? Because they might run up, give me a hug, kiss, grab on my nuts or whatever they do. You know how y'all do. You know what I mean? They real aggressive up here in Harlem. So she like, no, I understand. I said, all right. So we go out, and of course, I ran to a couple of females I know from the Bronx. They give me the hug, we get a squeeze, and they, You know the Bronx girl. Had her head back in the, in the little bun with the baby hair all slicked in the lip gloss. Let's not forget the lip gloss. So now I'm standing there, right? To show you how much of a dog I am. This is for the young girls, to understand that when a dude getting money and he on the street, don't let him tell you that bull crap. But I love you, baby. It's gonna be me and you. Stop the games. Brothers, please keep it 100 with him. Give a woman a chance to choose. She want to deal with you and the other women, or she, whatever, because she might have a bunch of other uniques on the side too. So we over there, and the Montero parked on the side, and the little Bronx girls, they chilling over there in the cut. So while they chilling over there in the cut, I'm, with my out of town girl. So the one I talked to, she run up because her girlfriend's done put a battery in the back. Damn near like kicked in the back, like, boom, you better go check on your nigga. You know what I mean? So she come on and tell me, hey, Huey. And she give me a hug, and she expected me to give a reaction that would let her know if I'm with Shorty or not. You know what I mean? So when she came over to hug me, I gave the Shorty I'm with a kiss. And then I reached over and I hugged her. You know what I mean? That was to let Shorty, from the Bronx know that, yeah, I'm hitting that. You know what I mean? And play your position. Because I'm also hitting you, and I'm not hiding anything from anyone, because we don't play these type of games, So the girl from the Bronx pushed back when I went to kiss her, not on the lips. Let's get that right. Didn't kiss none of them on the lips. But when I went to kiss her, she turned her head up. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even get a cheek. So I said, whoa. I said, what's wrong? She said, nah, who this? I said, nah, this is a little cutie I met. She from out of town, and they up here for the summer. What, you effing her? I said, most definitely. You know what I mean? She like, but what? And I mean, like, what? And she like, I thought it was me and you. I said, come on, baby, let's stop the games. When you're not with me, you with other dudes, you're doing you. And when I'm not with you, I'm doing me. When we run into others that we're doing on the side from each other's, not behind each other's backs, we play ourselves accordingly, like I'm instructing you to play yourself accordingly now. Because if I see you with a dude, I'm not going to run up on you and claim you. And it's crazy that she did that, because I like to ride. So let me out of this zone and just take you somewhere else with my little Shorty from the Bronx. Now, I'm over in the Bronx chilling, and I'm in front of the building, her aunt building, and she come out there and we kicking it, da-da-da-da. And, she had a newborn baby. So the baby father comes walking up. I don't know if the baby father, but I know something ain't right with him, because he walked up and he had a crazy attitude. He looking, he gritting, and he playing all these little games. Well, you know me. I didn't have nothing big on me. I had a little 380 in my pocket. So, of course, I tapped my right leg, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Just to let just let the weight, of the steel in my pocket, jump up so he could see that I'm packing more than what I'm banging his girl with. So don't get stupid, you know what I mean? Because I'm banging your girl, because I got another pipe just for you. You know what I mean? And it's called 380, So, he looks and he gritting and he walking in circles. So, I didn't want to pull it out, because, if you pull a joint out, you got to use it, just so you youngins know. That's what I'm telling you, fellas, don't go out there fake. Don't pull out a joint if you're not going to use it. Don't even pull out a joint. Don't even carry a joint. Let me say that. But I'm just letting you know that when you are on the street, if you think you're grown and you got your joint with you, don't pull it out if you're not going to use it, because it could cost you, your life. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about no getting locked up. So, dude looking at me all crazy. So while he looking at me, I said, yo, hold up, homie. I said, this your girl? And he said, yeah. And he had an attitude when he said it. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, yo, Shorty, this your man? She said, nah. I said, okay, so it seemed to be a miscommunication. If she tell me she your girl right now, I'm going to get in my Jeep, I'm going to ride off. You know what I mean? So you two go over there and decide what y'all are to each other while I chill out over here, with my other peoples. So he pulls aside, they talking, he's screaming, he carrying on, and then next thing you know, he hauls off and smacked the crap out of her. She hit the ground so hard, I turned around, I'm about to pull the joint out and run up over there, but a girlfriend stopped me and said, hold up, they always do that. She's in an abusive relationship, she's trying to get out. But now it's irking me, because I'm ready to go put my work in on this dude, on the strength of putting his hands on her, not on the strength of that I'm boning this girl or nothing stupid like that. So let's get that straight. So they tell me to hold up. So she get up and she runs back over there, to where we at, and he runs off. So I said, okay, time to go, because we ain't trying to trust this dude coming back shooting nothing. And if you want us to handle him, we'll deal with that. No, that's my baby father. You better not do that, my baby father. Hold up, baby. I'm not mad at you. You know what I mean? To be honest, me and your baby father could screw you together because it really ain't nothing but a jump off. Let's get that straight. You know what I mean? So that's how I had to deal with it once before. Let's go back to where we at. So that now she's over there and she's asking me who this shorty. Baby, we just saw your man smack the crap out you. You know what I mean? You're in an abusive relationship. You're trying to say you're not. You understand what I'm saying? So let's stop the games. So now she tells a girl, give me my purse. Give me my purse. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you getting your gat? You know? She said, nah, I'm getting out my baby Earl. You know what I mean? And Vaseline. I said, for what? You know? She said, nigga, you wait, you'll see. You know? So she grabbed the purse and, you know, she got to smear the Vaseline on her face and all of this. And I'm like, what you doing? You know? I'm going to kick that girl. I said, oh, no. We ain't going to do all that. You know? So I said, this is what we going to do. You're going to leave right now. And then I looked up, I seen some of the other, you know, local females I know. So they seen the commotion, so they come over there. They say, Unique, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm good. I said, yo, you know what? You about to leave, you know what I mean, before they kick your butt. You understand what I'm saying? Now, she got her little girlfriends with her. Girlfriends ain't nothing soft. She ain't nothing soft. So she turned around. She said something slick to me. Next thing you know, one of my little local girls hauled off and smacked the crap out of her. They get to fighting out there. I sit up on the Jeep, and I pull out my 40 ounce, and I'm drinking my 40 ounce, and I'm smoking a blunt, and I'm watching these 6 girls rumble on the floor. You know what I mean? Welcome to Harlem. Gunshots. Let's not forget. You know what I mean? So they fight like a mother. I'm drinking my 40, and, you know, I'm telling her, you know what I mean? I'm telling my girls, yo, come on now, don't scratch in the face. Don't y'all go scratching. Don't y'all go. And I'm refereeing from on the car, and we laughing. I'm smoking a blunt, and I'm drinking a 40, and they carrying on. You know what I mean? This is a typical night in Harlem back in the day. It's like 80 degrees. Everybody out there, the joint crowded, they fighting. You got a group of people crowd around watching, and then you also got a group of people walking by that say, man, let me get out of here before they pull out a box cutter, because y'all remember them box cutters back in the days. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what went on with that. But bottom line is they fought like a mother. When they was done, you know, I told Shorty, okay, now you done lost, and I go on up out of here, you know what I mean, and leave me and Shorty alone. So I took my little Shorty in the picture. We went and, you know, the City Island with the girlfriends and all that. We hung out and had a regular night. So that's how that played out. I just want to give you that one, you know, real quick before I even finish it. There's a whole lot more that go to that. Let me try and get to some of these comments. Let me work this mouse over here, you know, see what this comment says. All right. So, you know, that's how that played out. Now, I'm going to put, let me see, I should put up another picture, but that story was long enough. I don't want to be up here all day, you know. Okay, there go the mouse. All right, so now we come over here. Let's see. We come over here and try and read some of these daggone comments, you know. So I got to get this off so I can read the comments. Let me see. All right. Okay, for all 100 on about, I can't see it. Move this out the way so I can see the comments right here, man. I can't see the comments. Okay. Oh, okay, I see where it's at. It look like this is it, dang. You know? So, you know, that's where we at, man. But, you know, I've been on here long enough. I'm learning the system, so I'm going to keep this real short. Just wanted to practice it. And, you know, some people said I'll be going too long. So, you know, let me just, you know, pop up off of here and let y'all see what's going on. But next time, I'm going to have to give you all a nice little joint, you know, just to show you a couple of pictures I'm going to be talking about. You know, this was me in Miami back in the day. Let me close this one up here. All right. Bang. All right, just wanted to open it up, make sure y'all see it. You know what it is. So I'm going to close that, and here go another picture I'm going to show you real quick. All right, that was me and a girl named Candy down in Miami, you know, back in the day. She was to work at the Rolex. So if y'all know where Candy at, tell Candy to holler at me. She was real good people, and I got nothing but love and respect for her. That's Candy. So if y'all want to hear the story about Candy, you know, y'all make sure you let me know, you know, what y'all think if y'all want to hear the story about Candy, man. But Candy was a nice little tall chick, about 6 feet. You know, she was about 6 feet, 5'11", you know, and slim as you see. See how tall she is over me. So I really had fun, you know, bending her up, putting her in certain positions and doing certain things with her. And, you know, she was one of the best that ever done it. You know what I mean? She was one of the best that ever done it. I definitely give her props. I remember when I first went to her crib. That picture right there was taken in my garage. You know, if you notice those big ass 2x4 joints I got in the door. You know, you see the 2x4s I got in the door, so you know what it is. Let me try and read some of these comments before I go out. Now, you as a lover boy, Kingston James, you're a lover boy. Look at the happy and love smile. Oh, yo, hold up, dog. I was never know, but I love a dog ass nigga. Now, let me finish that one that me and you was talking. That joint there, dude, he was a true, but I love a dog. He about to get killed for this little chick. You understand what I'm saying? He about to get killed for this little chick playing these little games. When
fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend the air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.